There you see him at the top of the screen right there. Chad Little in the 74 behind him. Chad gets back to the gas, gives him a little help right there. All it takes at those speeds is just a little nudge, and around you go. But fortunately, no one else got into him, but he did hit the outside wall real hard right there with the right front.
Yeah, Vickers' car just didn't start to accelerate up off the corner. Here's a look from Hank Parker Jr. PMC on board.
We're really quite lucky we didn't have more than just one car involved right there. Jeffrey Bodine got in the back of Chad Little, and as you can see right there, the
one car got into the wall dramatically, yes, car. And got pile driven by a car coming fast on the outside.
Yeah, he's Brian Vickers in the 40 car.
He's still going fast.
And he has no brakes. He's knocked the brake line off, and he's going to have to keep going around. It don't look like he's going to come to pit road this time.
No.
Way too fast for his crew ever to stop him.
Foyt bound. Now watch Foyt come up off the corner and
got in the fence.
Yeah, he was already in the fence. Caught it. And it just arrested his forward motion, and poor Brian Vickers had nowhere to go.
Ran out of racetrack.
So we're under caution for the 4th time. Jeff Burton has led every lap here at the track that has definitely proven it is too tough to tame. NASCAR on FX. Working the first yellow of the day, Brian Vickers spinning after coming off turn 4 alongside Jack Sprague. Let's watch it from the MBNA cam on Mike McLaughlin.
Vickers up in that second groove. This is coming on the front stretch. That's a tough call to make right there. Looks like maybe Brian overreacted just a little bit as he got up against the wall.
Let's watch from the Johnsonville cam on board Stacy Compton.
I think he was just trying so hard to stay off of Jack Sprague that when he pulled it around, the car just kind of, with the soft left rear spring we run, it just kind of turned into the wall.
And at the same time,
Riggs leads. Burton is second. Bodine is third. Jeff Green is fourth. Kevin LePage fifth through the first lap. Oh, middle of 1 and 2. Looks like Brian Vickers. No, that's Kerry Earnhardt. Check that. Caution's out. Well,
well, Wally
said it was going to be a rough race.
Didn't take long. Did you see all the debris already up in that gray area?
We're in here. Just lose it? That was Stacy Compton right behind him, wasn't it?
But I don't think anybody got to the back of him.
I don't. Yeah, didn't look like he got hit.
Unless it was earlier.
You okay with that?
I was on board the Jack Sprague car. Let's go up in here and just see. He's loose getting in the corner. There's no one makes contact with him. He just gets loose getting down in the corner. And Wally, we've talked about it all weekend. These cars have a tendency coming off the corner to get tight, and you've got to have them so loose getting in the corner. That's what happens.
You're right, BP. And it's everybody's going to complain about the cars pushing, but I think what we're trying to do is to try to get the cars tight enough to get into the corner, but it makes them so tight getting off, they have a problem.
Casey Mears loses a lap as he's on pit. Oh, trouble, turn 1. At least a dozen cars involved. I don't know if we're going to get to 10. We may not have enough cars left.
And the 54 car, I will tell you, got a lap back. There he goes. Kevin Grubb.
Top of the screen. Is that Mark Green and Hamilton Jr. that tangled to start it?
I don't know. See Shane Meal, the 47 car.
Oh, this gives us a good look. On board Mark Green.
Looks like he got hit. Take left rear.
Mark Green and Hamilton Jr. tangled to start this one.
Kind of in the right rear a little bit, guys, and then the right front in the wall.
Fourth caution is out at Bristol. Prime time. Riggs to second, Compton back to third.
Uh-oh, another guy in the
Trouble
wall.
turn 3. Brian Vickers. Caution number 5 is out.
Well, the race sponsor, Mr. Goodsense, put their name on the hood of his car for this race, and unfortunately, we're seeing the side of his car. There's a lot of damage to that car. You see what happened? There he is trying to get on the inside of
Kenny Wallace, he was trying to get to the inside of it. It looked like maybe Hamilton Jr. and he touched.
Yeah. Yep, he goes down to the bottom. Yep, got turned.
Hold on.
Ooh, that's not the good way to hit either.
No.
Not that there's any really good way to hit, but that's the worst way.
Once again, there we see the contact between Hamilton Jr., the 25 car, and Brian Vickers.
Close to 21 car, right on by.
That 97 has shown to be fast, very fast.
And what's at stake for him here? He's
trouble!
Contact on the backstretch. It's Mike Waltrip and now Brian Vickers. Robbie Gordon, 31. The time. Waltrip's over. 1, 2, 3 times for Michael Waltrip.
Well, there's the
Now,
big
this
one
is a
right
big
there. Took a lot. There's a lot of good cars right there. Is that Sterling Marlin in there?
40 cars in it. That's Michael Waltrip's car, upside down.
And when you're in a situation like that, you are just a passenger, especially when these cars start turning each other. Here you see, looks like Johnny Sauter slid up in the 30 car into Brian Vickers in the 25. A chain reaction.
Yes, that's Michael Tuckins. Yes.
And Biffle, the pole sitter, looks like he barely got through there.
So you see the tire come off of Michael's car, then it got into that grass softened by the rain, and it just dug in, just like we saw Ryan Newman's last year and sent the car over.
There's Harvick, Kevin LePage, Johnny Benson.
Terry Labonte. You saw McMurray and Vickers.
Okay, here we go. This might be our best shot.
Watch the car at the bottom there. The blue and yellow car. Slides up right there. Just ever so little contact, which doesn't look like a lot when you're running 185, 190 miles per hour. It's a lot.
There's the 15. The mountain right now, he's going to dig in. There goes one of the tires that Alan talked about. Violent.
Very violent. Yeah, when you hit that grass, hang on.
Now the 30 car, he comes up and just, it's like you said, Wally, another 6 inches probably would have not been an accident.
And it looks like the 30 to me got a little bit loose down there. He got a little bit loose, he corrected, but when he corrected, he slid up the racetrack, and unfortunately there were 2 cars on the outside of him.
So my count, at least 10 cars involved in this accident.
It's hard to tell if he got loose or he pushed up there, but
the end result is the same.
Yeah.
Michael hit by Robbie Gordon, and then here's the dig. Right there.
Dig.
You can see just how high that he throws the dirt as the car goes over.
A couple other cars almost got on their lid, too. That was Kevin LePage in the 4 car got some air.
Now watch this. I think Biffle gets through it without too much damage.
Hey, Benny, he just said on the radio they should show it from my onboard.
Stay low.
We are. Wow, that is amazing.
Come on. You all right? How bad is it? You good?
That should be the lucky dog.
That's right.
there.
Robbie Gordon's view.
Robbie didn't have such a good time of it.
Now.
Man, that looked like yesterday.
We're done. My car's killed.
He said all this while he's sliding to a stop. Did you hear him say, we're done?
Yeah,
My car's killed?
Let's watch the 30s. He pushes or he gets loose? He gets loose.
Gets loose, yeah.
So the back end breaks loose first, and when he's trying to correct and catch it, is when he slides up into Vickers, and Vickers pinches Waltrip, and off they go. Let's add a couple of more to this. How about 12 cars in this accident now? Get all the numbers in the cars coming back around damage. There's Ryan Newman.
Yep, and he was almost through it. 25 car Vickers came down and just tagged him.
Page in the air. Sterling Marlin up under him. There's Benson in the 09.
And like I said, there's just no place for you to go a lot of times. It's just...
Let's go on board Michael Waltrip.
That's us, guys. 25 got into us. That's us.
They got the...
Gordon inches ahead.
Right there is where Junior is so strong. Sailing off into the
trouble.
turn.
One car around, and it's Brian Vickers.
All right, the caution is out, and we are past the red flag lap. We are past the red flag lap. But remember, the field was frozen when the caution flag came out.
And who at that moment was the leader? We'll have to go back and see.
It would be obviously either Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 or Jeff Gordon in the 24.
Brian Vickers, watch the 25 on the right of your screen.
He gets squeezed in there, and he gets loose, and he gets down in the side of the 41 car, Casey Mears.
Boy, Michael Waltrip, the 15, Ricky Rudd, the 21, just
Ricky,
getting by.
I think Ricky may have eclipsed him.
So now, here's
Gordon.
Jeff Gordon leading, Harvick and Junior.
Yeah.
The car is sideways. And in NASCAR's determination at the moment of caution. That's
got to remember, when they say up over here in the booth, put it out, it takes a second for the flagman to even get it out.
There you see right there, the yellow lights roam.
Yeah, he's still going.
And Kane and Martin pull away just a little bit from Tony Stewart, who's
Hey, Casey Kane lost it.
Oh, there's oil. There's oil on the racetrack.
Use my time. You got it.
Oil on the racetrack.
Mark Martin, Tony Stewart gets by. I think Matt Kenseth may have went up and brushed the wall.
Oh, my gosh. I've never brushed the wall there.
Yeah, look, lots of damage.
He's killed that right front of that car.
What an incredible Kane down into the corner. And you're going to see the car about right there. She takes off. Not too far behind him comes a whole bunch more. I think Mark and Tony may have seen what happened to him and got it to the inside.
This will show it right here, Darrell.
Martin and Stewart were just that little bit lower on the racetrack from Kane, and they got through.
Just a little wee bit. Those are coil spring flying down through there. 25, who was having a great run.
Those are hopes and dreams flying down through there.
I mean, you just feel for that whole Evernham organization. They had two of the best race cars here today. Jeremy Mayfield gets caught up in that wreck, being the...
Trouble turn 2. Caution flags out. Ryan Newman punched the wall. And who's in the black car? Is that...
Guy 8th in points.
Okay, the field is frozen.
There's Newman. Wow, what a hard crash he's had.
The left side has hit the wall awfully hard on the 12 car, but here is Ryan Newman going to find out.
Hard to tell by that angle.
Let's try this one.
Well, if there's two of them involved and they're both spinning, chances are there was some contact between them.
Question, was the 12 passing the 25 on the outside, or was the 25 trying to go by?
Newman, we come on the radio and you got turn 2 crash.
Turn 2. Brian Vickers has hit the wall hard.
Finally could not hang on to a loose race car.
Man. How in the world do you tear the front and back up that badly?
Second car of the weekend.
This place is, you know how it is. You hit the outside, then you go down the race. I said you don't want to turn the steering wheel. When you turn the steering wheel, like BP was saying earlier, front tires are sticking better.
So he went up and hit the outside wall, and then, like I said, you go down and there's nowhere to go, you hit the inside wall.
That's how you get both ends. There's the front. It's going to slide directly back across the racetrack right in front of Casey Mears.
Fortunately, that was a one car, not fortunate for a 25.
Add Ricky Rudd to the list of wrecked cars. Matt Kenseth spun down to the apron. Not sure how much damage on his machine. As cars come to pit road and to the garage. It's questionable how this got started. Watch the 48, the 4, and the 8.
Yeah, it's right in here, and it appears that the 8 bumped into the back of the 4, which made the 4 wobble just a little bit and get into the 48 momentarily. It just comes out behind the 10 car, Scott Riggs. He runs down here and he gives the 4 car a little shot. Watch the 4 car. Watch it wiggle. See the 4 car start to get loose right there. See the back coming around, and that turns the left front into the right rear of the 48 car, and that's what started the whole thing.
Let's listen to Junior's onboard, see if that helps determine what happened here. Well, the first contact is between Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Mike Wallace, but also you've got Jimmy Johnson starting to come up the racetrack a bit.
Well, I think what happened was when the 8 bumped the 4 car, it made the 4 car wiggle just a little bit. It makes it appear that the 48 came up, but I think that actually what happened was the 4 started to go to the left just ever so slightly.
Yeah, it was not much.
Yeah, and made contact with the 48.
Look how quickly, though, the racetrack clogged the whole width of the racetrack as this unfolds. Track's blocked.
I don't know how Michael got through that. He climbed down on the apron and made it. And you got to do it in a hurry. Racing side by side here is asking for trouble.
See David Strimmy here.
There you go. 957 is already around and wrecked.
That was a hard hit to the inside.
He's coming back out into the racetrack.
Fortunately, by the time he comes across the track, everyone that far back had flowed up and gone to the inside. Brian Vickers started outside.
See if we can figure out what happened here. Looks like he got a little help right there.
Robert Presley got in the back of him. But Darrell, this may have begun as the race started, or begun to develop as the race started, because for some reason Vickers had trouble getting going on the initial start. But
I don't think so. The only thing I can think of right there is sometime you're coming off the corner here and you've got to squeeze up out of the throttle a little bit. The guy behind you's got a good run and he just can't get out from behind you. But basically
the Hollywood Hotel for a look at what happened here. Joe?
Well, I'm going to have to say that Brian Vickers' car was pretty loose there at the start of that race, and Robert Presley, you know, he hasn't run a lot of races this year, especially Busch races. So I'm going to say that's part of it. He got loose and had to just check up out of that throttle just a little bit. And if you're that close to somebody, you're going to end up just touching them, and it doesn't take much to turn somebody around.
Oh, especially when they're already loose.
Oh, it happens quick.
I don't know if they're going to have enough of a run.
It just doesn't look like Truex is fast enough to keep those guys. Oh, trouble! There's that caution I was talking about.
Several cars involved. This is coming out of 2 down the backstretch, and they're still wrecking. Well,
that's Randy LaJoy with a hood stuck up in the air.
Big one coming late.
Well, they're going the green-white checker.
Yes, they are. Now you start thinking back. Well, I wonder if fuel for anybody would be a factor.
What happened there? They're stacked up.
Listen, the 30 LaJoy and the Dollar General got.
They were all going to the middle,
yeah.
It looked like, and
got hit by John Wood in the 47 car and just turned around.
Justin Labonte in the 44.
Denny Hamlin, 20 car, just pushing the 47 down the racetrack.
Boy, Denny Hamlin had a rough start and a rough finish to this race. And back here,
Regan Smith and Jason Keller. Regan Smith in the 58, Jason Keller in 35. That's Bliss in the 30 car going through the middle.
And LaJoy looks like he turned down into the middle. He was trying to get to the middle.
That's John Wood in the 47.
Run into by John Wood. And wow. And all these guys behind just had nowhere to go.
Ashton Lewis, the 25, he's not going to get through that, is he?
And Bliss was in front of the wreck and still ended up in it.
And you can't see anything at this point when you're behind that wreck with all the smoke.
I believe Ashton Lewis got through that wreck somehow. He must have some damage.
Scored in 16.
The red flag, NASCAR has thrown out the flag to get this cleanup taken care of.
That means no work can be done on the cars once the red flag is put out. Cars will be stopped on the track. On board with Ashton Lewis. Let's take a look, Benny.
Yeah, I wonder if he got through without hitting anything. Here we go.
Not quite.
Not quite, no. Just the outside wall of another car is all.
Other than that, he got through pretty clean.
That was cars with an S, wasn't it?
Turned Justin Labonte right up into the wall. Into the safer barrier, at least. Wow. Lots of debris.
Reed Sorensen, the 41 car, second in the NASCAR Busch Series points.
Yep. Got the softer barrier there since I've hit that wall.
On board with Kyle Busch.
I think Kyle gets through it.
Watch it, get down. Low.
How about?
Oh!
It's Kevin Harvick's crew. All right, Dave Burns.
With Brian Vickers now. Brian, describe trying to get through that.
And Scott Wimmer has gone around right in front of championship contender Jimmy Johnson. It's 11, Denny Hamlin.
He's got some contact with the 25 of Brian Vickers. Looks like someone ran in the back of the 11, and I guess it was the 25 car.
I would think you're right.
A lot of damage to that left front on Vickers' 25 car.
First caution of the race. Behind him, Johnson in the 48.
That's what I was talking about, that low groove. It's hard to run down there and not spin out. And Jimmy, where do I go? Oh, man, that was close.
I guess the other two just got caught up slowing down. Vickers and Hamlin. He just, 22 car just got loose.
Right about there, Jimmy Johnson thinks his championship chances might be gone.
Got lucky.
Now let's watch behind where the camera zooms in on
it. On board with Rusty Wallace in the Miller Lite Dodge.
In front of you. Slow down. Good job.
They're all so lucky that 22 car did not come back across.
Get a draft on the guy in front of you, and you just pound on his rear bumper. And trouble!
Ryan Newman is around. Several cars involved.
Hold on.
Oh, we're going to get the inside wall, aren't we? Yes, we did, I think.
It's Dale Jarrett in the 88. Casey Kane in the 9. Caution is out. Field is frozen. Brian Vickers, heavy damage to his car.
And Scott Riggs. Thursday.
See, he's right there underneath McMurray. He backed out a little bit. I think McMurray got a little bit sideways, though, after Vickers got into him, and chain reaction.
Also looked like Mark might have gotten into the back of the 25 when maybe the 25 lifted.
Well, the 26 of McMurray got sideways when Vickers got into him, and McMurray probably had to lift a little bit. We'll watch again here. You see he's getting him sideways.
Yeah, just that little bit of touch on the left rear quarter bumper on that 26 car.
Kyle Busch in the 5 is right behind the 25. This is Jarrett trying to make a move.
And, you know, when you're following a guy and there's something happens 2 cars ahead, we talked about this the other night, it's very difficult to see through these cars right now. I mean, you're looking through the windshield. See, when you're driving, you can't see what's really going on in front of you, directly in front of the car. He did a good job right there getting through that.
Trouble in front, all clear, clear all around.
Now on board with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Still inside. Oh, Rick.
Through the grass.
Wow, Junior did even a better job. Although he did, looks like he got hit in the right.
Fast cars, but you know, Cleaver and McFarland.
Rick behind you.
Oh, we got trouble.
Hard hit. Casey Kane.
He gets it another time. Brian Vickers, 57 involved.
7th caution of the race. And that ties the record for this race.
Oh! Somebody caught him in the rear and just turned him.
Oh, that was Vickers in the 57,
Just
but I
shot
don't
down
know
the
what
track.
caused that.
Probably have to back it up just a little bit. Let's see.
They got bottled up there.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart.
Biffle.
Looks like Biffle got in the back of 57, yes.
Casey Kane has reported on the radio he's okay. Got hit once and then twice.
That's the 35 car of Regan Smith.
Oh, man, he just got clipped, Casey Kane. Just barely. Just enough.
Now on board with Greg Biffle.
Wow, oh, he jacked the back of that.
Check up, go to the bottom,
Yeah, that's what happens
Hold
when
on
you
right
pull
there.
the rear tires off the racetrack on a car in front of you. He usually loses traction.
On board the Hershey's Kissables ride.
Spin in front of you, go low. They're coming down. Go to the middle.
Go on the grass.
It's coming down there. Okay, keep going there. You got that one car to your outside.
Michael Waltrip.
Of you, all the way down. You clear all the way down. Clear up. The middle.
And that was a
Right
nice
in the middle.
job.
Go up, gas it, go. Good job.
Also.
He can get off the corner underneath somebody and make the pass, just like we saw him
Turn
do right
3.
there.
Riggs and Vickers were fighting for position side by side for 4 laps. They connected. Riggs into the outside wall, Vickers to the inside.
Come on down.
Jimmy Johnson, lucky dog.
Come on.
Yeah, these two had been going at it for 10th position for about 10 or 15 laps.
Larry, the 48 car gets the pass.
3 laps.
See the brakes glowing on the 10 car, trying to stay off the 25.
A lot of damage to both those race cars.
Yeah, both cars took pretty hard licks.
Both these cars had great runs at Talladega last week.
Factor in, guys. Driver's side.
From Jeff Burton's singular Chevy. There's a look at it.
2 guys just getting down there at the corner at the same time.
Good job. Caution out.
And that will put Burton into the top 10.
Got a few cars hitting pit road here with about 13 laps to go. Most of the top guys stayed out. We got Biffle, Carl Edwards, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, several other cars back there making pit stops here.
Just 13 laps to go. Don't touch that dial.
No caution. They're side by side, right to the line.
Big crash. Here they come. Checkered flag. Harvick. Kevin Harvick wins the Daytona 500.
We got one car
And they're still-
on his roof coming across the start
They're
finish line.
still wrecking. They're wrecking everywhere. Boyer's on fire. Jeff Gordon's wrecked.
And they
Montoya.
are still wrecking.
Montoya, Stremme, Kenseth, Biffle, Marlin,
Carl Edwards, Casey Mears, all crashed on the
so slightly gets into the 17, and it's on from there. Look at the 38 car up on top of somebody. There's a car turning over.
And look at this finish.
And it's a drag race to the line, and we've seen Harvick do that before.
Yes, we have.
In the bottom lane, Clint Boyer gets slid sideways. Whammo.
And he'll cross the start-finish line unofficially upside down in the 18th position.
On fire. I mean, that's Joey Chitwood couldn't do that. Here, and he doesn't mess around. Slides that thing right up to the
We got problems over 3 and 4. Caution is out.
3 cars pile up, including Ruderman and Kane. One more at the bottom of the racetrack.
Ooh, that's another hard lick for David.
I'm sure I can.
See what happens here going down the back. The 16 Biffle on the inside. Here comes Ruderman. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Gosh,
Biffle went to move up, and the hole was not there.
He got 2 at once. He got the 83 from the back and the 00 from the front. And there's Casey Kane hooked up and can't get loose. Watch his 16 car. He gets 2 at once. Bam, bam.
Another hard lick, and remember at Fontana, California, it was Greg Biffle that got into David Ruderman on that wreck at Fontana.
Well, I don't understand this one. I mean,
let's watch from Casey Kane.
Stay low, get low, get low, get low.
We saw Biffle coming up. I wonder, Darrell, was Ruderman starting to turn in?
Got trouble. Brian Vickers in that 83 car, hard in the inside wall off turn 2. Caution will wave.
Second caution of the day.
We're done.
And Brian was actually up there running in the top 20. He had to check up because J.J. Yaley in the 18 checked up and then gets hit from behind.
yeah, the 26 of McMurray just had a run and he couldn't get off of him. You feel so bad about that when things like that happen. I mean, it's a chain reaction.
Once again, you see the lick it took. We've been talking about it. That wing never moved back there.
Okay, keep digging. Yellow's going to be out behind.
Counting the competition yellow, it's the 3rd.
Again, this makes the 11th caution flag tonight. Brian Vickers involved in this latest contact.
Yeah, it looks like here he's just 10 cars holding the 5 up just a little bit right here, and it looks like Kyle Busch moves right underneath.
Well, Kyle's on the throttle. He's just a little bit impatient right now. And it looks as though that when the 10 car got in the back of him, that he might have cut the right front fender down, or fender might have got in the tire and blew the right front tire out after that bump he just had, and it got him in the wall. He brushed the wall, got him in the back. Oh, and it locks the front end down and shoves him up the racetrack and into the wall.
Looks like these guys are just kind of arguing over the space coming off the corner right there.
Well, Kyle got penalized. He got put in the back. And now the 29 car, Jeff Burton.
That is his team car, the 21 car of Clint Boyer, in trouble. Here's the 17 car involved. Vickers involved. And our points leader, Carl Edwards. Oh, heavy contact. Stephen Light head on with the 17 car.
All right. How are you, bud? We're done.
Caution coming out for the 6th time tonight. At least a half a dozen cars involved. And
so everybody just looking for some racing room, and Matt Kenseth just gets a bump from behind.
When Brian Vickers has had a fast car throughout the night, he gets taken out in our points later.
And nowhere for these guys to go. And then Stephen Light comes in there in the 90 car, makes contact with Matt Kenseth.
Boy, Andy, when you're behind there as a driver and you're seeing all that smoke and debris and stuff flying, I mean, you take a calculated guess. Should I go high? Should I go low? And sometimes, man, you just miss it. And right now, with so much debris, these guys can't see where they're going. And that happened. 4 wide.
That's Kelly Byers, the 47 car, as the 17 came across. That was the initial contact, and then the 17 collects the 60 and the 10.
The guys, it looked like Matt Kenseth really thought he was clear, and he just wasn't clear. And come across the hood of Kelly Byers, and they were swapping back and forth so fast that he just didn't clear them.
Watch from Jamie McMurray's onboard camera here in the 26 cars.
Let's take a look at Kenseth. There he is. He comes over. See, just barely clips him, but just didn't have enough room, and that was a pretty nervy move. Dave, you got more?
Yeah, Rusty, he talked to his crew right after that, and he confessed, hey, my bad, Bob. And he was talking to Bob Jeffrey, his spotter, about that move. He said, I thought the 47, he implied that the 47 might have given a little bit more, but Matt took responsibility for that because he had not been cleared by his spotter.
Yeah, I mean, that's good that Matt did that, because it's clear that, you know, Kelly Byers didn't do anything wrong whatsoever. In fact, Matt had more speed going and just miscalculated. These guys were going for it. They were 4 wide. Pandemonium breaking loose on the back straightaway, and the big one happened. Looks like it took out about 4 cars here.
There's 20 laps to go. These guys are trying to get in position for a good finish.
Carl Edwards was just sailing by on the high side, just minding his own business, and suddenly with the contact, he ends up getting the 17 car in his left front fender. And of course, the 10 car right behind him ends up barreling into the back of this 60 car. So damage on the front and the rear, and that's what happened with the front end of Matt Kenseth's car.
Second, fourth, whatever. He just had nothing going on, you know. Just be sitting here doing nothing for no reason. Just didn't make any sense to me. But I liked it when we were battling and racing. And that's why when we got in the back, we kept trying to go to the bottom to get to the front.
Oh, trouble on the racetrack. Trouble way up high. And we now have the big one here with 44 laps to go. The 5 car involved. McMurray is there. Ruderman is involved.
Race cars here. Looks like Bobby Labonte just lost the car up against the wall.
Yeah, Bobby really didn't have anybody around him. It looks like they just maybe a possibility a right front tire went down, or the car just got flat out from underneath him and got loose. It just took off.
As much grip as these cars have, as good as they handle, I can't believe that you just have, actually lose the car like that without having some kind of a problem.
Car just abruptly turned left. It came all the way down and got Kyle Busch. That chain reaction then gets Robbie Gordon and then several others.
And Matt Kenseth's got a big piece of that. Got his car tore up, got the right front corner damage on Matt Kenseth's car from this last accident. So we got 2 chase contenders tore up right now because of this latest incident.
Oh, Bobby just turned around on it. I don't really get why that happened like that.
Including good runs by Eric Almirola.
Oh, we got one in the wall. Brian Vickers is in the wall down in turn 1 and 2. We stay green so far, but he's going to have a tough time getting back across the racetrack to get to pit road.
Track is clear as Vickers limps around.
We have so many cars out there, he can't get to the bottom. There's not a hole to get to the bottom. And
Yellow
there's
flag.
the caution.
And watch on the left of your screen what happens here with the 83 of Brian Vickers.
Looks like he had a right front tire down. Car just straight into the wall.
Definitely a tire.
Now here's what's going to be interesting. We're going to be under 10 laps to go. We only have 14 cars on the lead lap. These guys have been out there for 120 laps on their tires. I think you're going to probably see the guy.
Just went past him for 4th place. Matt, what's up with Vickers?
Emotions going back and forth, Mike, on the last stop. The concern went away because they told Brian Vickers they did indeed have a loose left rear wheel.
And he just hit the wall. He just hit the wall hard, Matt.
And
around goes Gilliland. And everybody else gets on the brakes.
I think they're running over parts over there. I see parts flying everywhere.
And a wheel goes over the fence into a camper area. And, oh, a lot of damage to Gilliland.
I think he hit the wheel.
I believe so.
I think he hit the wheel and launched it.
But what it looks like,
that wheel actually came off, so goes in the corner here. Oh yeah, the whole wheel just comes off.
But Darrell, I didn't see any hub or axle. It looked as if maybe the center broke out of the wheel.
Well, I can't get a good enough look at it to tell.
But Mike, I think you're right. I think Gilliland hit that tire and wheel.
Let's see what happens here. Yeah, you see the center of the tire, the wheel is gone.
Well, the only way we're going to find out, we're going to have to go over to the infield and dig it out of that camper tent that it went over into.
Man, look at the guys.
And it did bounce off the hood of Gilliland's car. Still going. Photographer scramble. And it just missed the folks up on that scaffold. So hopefully everyone okay there. Look in the right-hand corner of your screen as David Gilliland spins and bam! Hood and windshield.
Amazing.
Brian Vickers has climbed out of his car. He is okay. And pit road is open, Dick.
Greg Biffle has now moved up 17 positions. He started back in 31st spot, dropped back to 39th. Whoa, oh my goodness. That was a hard impact by Brian Vickers.
Hold it up there.
Just going to bring out the caution.
I'm not so sure that wasn't bad news for Jimmy to try to lead a lap. He was catching that 2 car.
Looks like turn 3 is going to be our trouble spot here today.
And that was a hard lick.
It is a hard lick.
Top of your screen.
Man,
oh,
tire just came
that's
apart
a tire.
right there.
Had to have run over something on the racetrack. You can see that right rear tire go. Man. Hard impact.
Second caution flag of the day. Hard lick there by the 83 car of Brian Vickers. Kurt Busch is our leader.
Times.
And all of those cars are cars that had made green flag stops prior to that caution. Boy, Brian Vickers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., that ain't going to work, boys.
Vickers hard. Here we go. Busch, the dominant car of the day, in the wall.
That was wrong.
And 10 cars sliding, slamming into the infield.
Jimmy Johnson, totally uncalled for. Totally.
I don't care who you are. That was just wrong.
Caution is out. McMurray was a contender. He's all torn up. And the dominant car of the day, that of Kyle Busch, is a victim of this pileup. Let's look first from the DirecTV.
Coming off 2 down the back straightaway. Junior gets a good run.
Vickers puts a little block on him. And then you be the judge.
Let's reiterate the rule. You are not allowed to advance your position below the yellow line. If you are forced below the yellow line, you must come back up and blend in.
Vickers puts the block on him, and then Junior just turns right back into the racetrack, right in the left rear of Brian Vickers.
Saw a similar situation like that yesterday in the nationwide race.
And the results are a good 8 to 10 race cars torn up.
Now Vickers makes a legal move coming down to block Dale Jr. But instead of blending in, Jr. caught the back end of Vickers' Toyota. And of all the cars in that crash, you have to feel for Kyle Busch. He had led 88 laps, far more than anyone else today, but his number 18 is junk.
Just all of this uncalled for, mainly with 75 laps to go in this race.
Let's ride with Junior.
To push you. On the bottom, pretty wide. Two outside. There, go low. Go low. There you go, good job.
Jimmy Johnson's view.
Outside, no help. Out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Guys, be ready with our splitter hardware.
With Denny Hamlin.
There's a big pile up back there, Mike.
And finally, here's what Digger saw.
Both of the Gibbs cars were involved, Denny Hamlin as well. And I guess, Darrell, what I would say, putting a block like that on someone with 75 laps.
He did.
Starship.
Tell you what, Vickers did a good job of saving that 83 car.
Yeah, he did. You bring a backup car here, you know it's a good one.
Sorry, Darrell. I think that's Vickers in the wall again.
He hit the wall hard in 3 and 4. And he's had a tire, I think, going down slowly.
No caution yet. There it is. Caution will wave.
Caution's out.
So we do get another that puts us under record caution flag number 16.
Oh, you see Vickers, I think something happened to his car, and he went up the hill and got into McMurray.
Nowhere for Jamie to go at 26.
No. I've been seeing smoke and fire coming out of that car, and I think he had a tire going down slowly. Watch these two cars come off the corner. I was worried when they come off side by side like that. Contact, more contact.
Wow. There was a little retaliation there that I think was a little uncalled for.
It certainly looked that way, Larry.
Go hard or go home. Logano against Bill Elliott. All that experience.
Well, speaking of David Reagan, we're 11 laps into this race.
Turn 1, Vickers has lost that left front tire and more.
Yeah, that car is destroyed, and there's the caution.
Caution's out.
That's all from the contact between he and the 20, which the 83 was going by the 20 on the outside. They got together, and it looked like the 20 gave him another little extra shot as he went by.
What I was going to say about David Reagan, Mike, he just ran his fastest lap.
Makes it 3 wide going down because these guys are going to start looking for the apron. Trust me, this time in the race, you can see more and more guys dropping down low.
Well, here we go again. Coming to the green flag. Back underway.
And Gordon gets a great start.
Junior did not. Look at Junior.
No trouble.
Oh, that's going to turn Truex. And Truex is going to get right into Burton, and we've got more problems.
We got all kinds of people. Kevin Harvick,
Brian Vickers, David Reagan, Casey Mears is involved in that. Oh, what a mess for the 8th caution of the day.
Lots of RCR cars sitting in that shot.
And there's one of them right there.
I think
Kevin
all 3
Harvick.
RCR cars got in it.
Yeah.
Harvick, Burton,
we didn't
and
see
Casey
Boyer.
Mears. Oh, yeah, Boyer was not in it.
And I'm going to tell you, Truex was a factor. This was a guy that had a shot at running in the top 5 and possibly putting himself in position to win the race. These guys were good today.
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if it all checked up and just was a.
Watch the 88.
Okay, the 88 got sideways,
and he's got Truex right behind him. And
Kyle Busch. Kyle couldn't really go anywhere.
No.
So
Rudiman gets turned.
I think right. The 88 looked like he got a little bit sideways. Listen, that's already happened. I think by this point.
Yeah, it's behind that, isn't it?
That was just one of those chain reaction deals. Kyle Busch was already up close to whoever he was next to. You see him down on the bottom. You see the one has to check up. Kyle tries to squeeze to the right. And they, whether Martin came over or whatever, there just wasn't enough room. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just everybody going for the same spot.
And when the 88 spun his tires, he goes to the inside. So now all of a sudden it looks to Kyle Busch like it's a 3-wide racetrack. You see the 88. Look at how far over he comes over. You can't see it from that angle. But the 88 or the 18 stuffs it up in there, and the 1 follows and then comes back to get around the 88. Yeah. And there's no place to go. That is strictly racing. And I know everybody, watch the 88. Well, we're already past it again. They're already into it.
It's just like I said. It's just a chain reaction thing where you're only talking about inches here.
Yeah, and that's
you don't
nobody's
have a lot
fault.
of room to work with. When somebody checks up in front of you, you're just hoping you don't get run over, and you're looking for real estate to try to get out of the way.
Yeah, watch this from inside the 6 car. Look, this is brake smoke right here, and he still gets in the back of the 83. Boom, there he is. All of a sudden, the 83 goes by, the 83's in it also. But, I mean, think about this. Think about when you're sitting at a stoplight. And this is a 31. 31 goes the inside. He thinks he's clear. Boom. He runs right into the 1 car, and you can't see it. Golly.
Man.
That's a wicked hit right there, man.
When you hear that, that's a shot.
That was just a hammering, Marty.
So Vickers continues the backward slide, and he has now dropped all the way back to 6th. Carl Edwards now coming up on him, and whoa, turns him. Carl gets into him. Through the infield.
Definite contact from Carl Edwards. Square in the back of the 32 here.
So now Vickers, who doesn't hit anything except the infield, go back and take another look, see if he checked up, or did Carl just plow him?
Well, I think Carl thought he was going to get the outside like the other guys had done, and Brian kind of slid it right up in front of Carl, and Carl opted not to get out of the throttle. I think he thought the hit that he was going to give was just going to kind of move Brian out of the way. I don't think he intentionally tried to spin him. It was just to let him know that he was there.
Let's go on board with Carl.
I think he knew. He definitely knows now for sure. You know, this is a risk.
You can hear right there. Yeah. Carl did get out of the throttle.
Yeah, it's a risk you take when you get those 2 tires.
Yellow's out. Yellow's out.
Of guys being faster.
I always hate to put my car in a defensive position, and that's what happens here when you have that track position with 2 tires, as you see him going around here. It puts you in a defensive position where you have to hold off cars, and it's very risky. Like you said, Dale, I mean, you can get run over by anybody.
And I really think that Carl thought that he was going to get that outside, because we saw Logano and Harvick be able to go.
Slow in the backstretch, may have caught the wall up in turn number 2, and it's Brian Vickers. He's slow and heading for the pits.
Yeah, Brian had just went a lap down.
He's not going to make it.
And this is not going to be a good break for Kevin Harvick. The caution is out.
Caution's out. Keep it rolling if you can.
I thought he had all but caught the wall out of turn number 2. That must have been when that right rear went down.
Yeah, he definitely got a right rear tire down. When the car comes around like that, it's a pretty good indication the right rear's down.
Earnhardt Jr. in front, but Tony Stewart has led the most laps so far, 35, and then we had our first caution caused by action on the track, and the first real spin here is Brian Vickers. Brings out what has been the second caution.
Trouble, turn 3. One car spins right down to the apron, and it is Brian Vickers' second time today.
Yeah, not a good day for that Red Bull team at all.
Not a very happy driver either. They've been in the pits about 10 times working on that thing ever since the first right rear went down. Looks like it could have possibly cut it down again. You can hear that tire disintegrating at right rear. Of course, all of a sudden it just goes.
You know, the strange thing about that, Darrell, you know, we talk about concerns of the tire. Normally it's the right front tire you're concerned about. That's the one teams tend to get aggressive with.
Well, Larry, if this blade is loading up the rear of the car a little bit more than what we've seen in the past, that could be possibly having a small effect.
Down the back straightaway.
Now it's cat and mouse. Who's going to go? Who's going to go where?
If the leader takes the white flag under green, the next flag will end the race. Oh, around goes Newman. Newman up into Logano. 5 cars into the wall. 7. Caution.
Caution is out. The race is not complete. Not complete.
Had to get to the white flag to be complete.
What did we say 30 laps ago? You said, Darrell, not sure if you want to be around Ryan Newman. His luck here is not very good.
And no disrespect to him as a driver.
Not at all.
He is just snake bit on these restrictor plate tracks. That's his second.
Bonnie up high, 4 wide.
4 wide is usually not a very good thing.
The 20 car of Logano gets into the back of Ryan Newman, and the 39 started this whole mess.
I almost wonder if the 39 of Newman didn't say, uh-oh, we're 4 wide, and maybe even eased out the throttle a little bit.
Maybe this aerial view will show it, Darrell.
Let's see what we got here. We got a wad of cars going off in the corner. They're going to get 4 wide. You're going to see this, and here's the 39 right out here.
4 wide. You see there's plenty of room
plenty
right
of
there.
room. I think that Logano just got in. I think Logano thought he could give him a push, clear that pack of cars, and go to the front. And he got him in the wrong place. We saw Carl Edwards do this to Greg Biffle here a couple of years ago.
You see Vickers in the 83 involved, a car that led a bunch of laps, and Casey Kane in the 9 just had recovered from the repairs from the last wreck. Tell you what, that's a hard lick on some of those cars.
So many times, you know, we kind of slow things down so we can see what the fans at home and everybody can see what's going on. When it's real time, it's real violent.
Riding with Jimmy Johnson.
Front of you, spin in 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 front of you. Stay to the bottom, stay to the bottom.
That man was lucky.
Clear.
Now able to get back in line. Trouble. Turn 3. Dave Blaney, 36, was first around, and then this other with Regan Smith and Brian Vickers, 78 and 83, was in the jam up of everybody stomping that brake pedal.
Brian Vickers has been kind of the victim twice of that very thing. Not involved in the first incident, but as he slowed down,
there was a lot of heavy.
And one of them ended up facing the wrong way on the racetrack.
You can just see how things got jammed up. Blaney got out, and the one of Jamie McMurray just ran all over him there. So
I'm going to throw a little wrinkle on that one at you, Dale. If we see that again, watch Joey Logano in the 20 and see if he didn't push McMurray into Blaney.
Yeah, and then you can see Brian Vickers, he had already committed heavily to get into turn 3 and ended up getting into Regan Smith and getting airborne.
Yeah, Smith had damage in that first incident also.
Would be kind of a surprise to see it in Victory Lane here today. This has not been the track that AJ has posted the best of numbers.
Hold your brake, hold your brake. Get it going if you can. Leaders into 3.
Should we call that the early hat trick?
Fired up, get it rolling here.
3 cautions, and Brian Vickers has been facing the wrong way on the racetrack after all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's not the kind of day that you're looking for when you get this started, realizing you've only got 450 laps to go. Like that, see right here, like Vickers was trying to get in there and let his car roll. Just couldn't keep it on the bottom. Got into Montoya, who was okay after that, but Vickers will probably just be back to pit road for some more tires and try it again. Maybe tighten it up a little bit.
Oh, when it goes bad, it just goes bad here.
Yeah, I was just thinking, this is a long race for a driver behind the wheel. Caution flags out again. That's not the first impact for Jamie McMurray's car under this very brief yellow flag period so far, but you can see Jamie walking away from the car after a very hard hit that set off, well, let's just go show you. Easier to show you than to explain the whole thing. McMurray and Brian Vickers here, 1 and 83, going down into turn 3.
Well, I'm going to give Brian Vickers the benefit that he got a little loose right there.
Hard shot for McMurray there.
You might give him the benefit, but I'm not sure McMurray's going to.
His wheels are right, and he had his brakes locked up, so all of that combined.
It's a big hit for Jamie. Listen to this. So as McMurray starts to drive away from the accident scene, he leaves some things behind.
That's like
those are the batteries from his car.
Yep,
now laying on the racetrack. And then when Vickers comes by, McMurray, well, I know baseball season just ended, but we'll call that a swing and a miss.
For sure. Well, didn't really miss.
All right, how about a foul ball then?
Yeah.
Like, what do you call it, Dale? The change-up?
Yeah, he was expecting a change-up and got the fastball there, so.
Not now.
Jimmy Johnson does not. What brought us to the caution flag?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, they're hard to drive like that.
Holy cow. You see how high the back of that car came up?
And then he had the brakes on so hard the wheels were hopping.
Yeah, they'd battled for probably 6 or 8 laps.
Looked like a fairly clean pass that Vickers had made on him.
Yellow's out.
That
Yellow.
was a race for 8th place. And if you're Matt Kenseth, you're involved in this championship, you got a lot to lose if this 83 car tends to come back out on Harvick trying to move forward. After that slip back.
Uh-oh.
Caution. Trouble turn 4. Brian Vickers is around. Yellow number 18. So much for Jimmy Johnson's gap.
I think Brian's been involved about half of those.
He's certainly been his fair share of them here today. This is going to be interesting now.
Which part? Just the restart and the racing?
Yeah, this is going to put Jeff Gordon on the inside of the second row. It might be a good spot for him with his 4 fresh tires.
Oh my. That's what that was. Matt Kenseth had just come back on the racetrack.
I think he might have done this Red Bull Toyota in now.
We're done.
Yep, there's your answer. I mean, he's caved that front end so bad now. I think the radiator's toast.
And Kenseth.
Not a problem there.
Trimming was pretty hard. Oh, we got a car in the wall.
And he's in the wall now at turn 3.
Caution's up high, caution's out, caution's out.
That was not what Montoya wanted to see.
I saw him bounce off the wall at turn 2 and keep going. But Brian, they may have just a little cleanup to do for this.
1-5. Keep it up there. Hold it up there. Hold it up.
That was a hard lick.
It really was. He hit that wall, and his car's still sitting there in the middle of the racetrack. Look at all that damage.
See Kyle Busch there running 7th. If you missed it earlier, he had a spin off of turn 2. And there goes Brian Vickers hard into the wall. Might have been a right front tire.
The wall, turn 3. Come on down the road.
Caution out with 26 laps to go. It's our 9th of the day.
Now this comes back to play on the two tires.
Multiple times today, right before we were ready for our green flag cycle of pit stops. You see the right front go down as he goes off in the corner. We've had tire issues, and that's where the debris has come from. Whether it's Denny getting into the wall, whether it's the 55 getting into the wall, we've seen this all day long.
Oh, that is a tough angle there.
Yeah, because it just slaps. As it hits with the right front, watch this thing go in. It hits with the right front, and then it slaps. And that slap is what really injures the driver and jars you a little bit. We heard, and watch from this angle. Yeah.
He was running 8th when the tire went down. Oh, Ambrose turned in the S's. Same spot on the track. Caution's out. More cars involved.
I was just about to say, watching him try to go up through there, he was really struggling with this race car. Looked like he might have got a little help while he was struggling.
He restarted 10th. And now he's crashed. Yeah, his car hasn't been packed in the last one going up the hill after the restart to the S's. This time he got the worst of it.
Trying to make something happen on the outside, and they're all stacked up. He gets a little help, like you said, Dale, from it's like Max Pappas, but they're all jammed up. Look like the 29 was in the back of him.
Well, we talked about that groove being so narrow. There's just like a lane and a half. You get outside of that with the 2 tires, there's just no grip there. When you start pedaling the throttle as others are trying to go behind you, you find yourself in trouble.
14 car Max Pappas.
He did. He slipped out of that groove, too. Then that's when he got the help.
And Pappas sitting there with Kevin Harvick right on his bumper. He's got to go, and it's time to do that.
Brian Vickers with a pretty heavy contact with the guardrail also.
Still there. Inside lineable. Hold your line.
Max Pappas.
Great job, Max. Keep going, keep going. Good job.
Trouble. Kyle Busch into the wall.
No doubt. You're right.
Brian Vickers also involved.
Just fine and dandy.
That thing's destroyed the front.
The third place driver in the championship starting the day, who started at the back in a backup car at a track that has been his worst statistically in his career.
See if there's some contact here.
Oh, yeah.
Carl Edwards.
And Vickers was down on the inside. Thought he was in a pretty good spot through that. But it's not a situation that you can say because of the 99 getting in the 18 that was Carl Edwards' fault. He was holding his line there. That's just three wide racing and the chance that you take. That's a hard hit, hard angle. It's again a testament to the safety of these vehicles and all the things that NASCAR has implemented over the years. Kyle trying to get what he can here.
Middle's covered. 3 wide top. 3 wide. Yellow's out. You're right.
Really amazing how well the restraint systems work in these race cars after a hit like that.
Pit stops.
But it got better the further they went along, so Danny Stockman's going to make an air pressure adjustment, 4 tires, and look at the crashing we got going on.
Trouble on the front stretch, and then Brian Vickers went down to avoid that and hit Elliott Sadler, who was coming off the pit lane.
We got hit.
Wow.
Bizarre moment that started with trouble on the front straightaway and wound up with 2 Joe Gibbs racing cars crashed in turn 1.
95 car of Reed Sorensen. It looked like he was just, well, he caught the grass in that trioval. Yeah. That's what it was.
Happens a lot of times.
Oh man, that was a hard lick too from the outside, and that's where Vickers was just trying to avoid.
Wow.
And it's just not Elliott Sadler's day.
No, and the 11 and the 20 both have had so many things happen this year when we expected so much from both of them. A lot of times you go cut that.
All 3 is slow head. Spin it ahead, up. Now down. All right.
You got to cut that dog leg just a little bit, and he was approaching those cars really quickly, got down in that grass, then you're just out of control.
Eric McClure also involved in the 14.
You didn't say anything about them going to hit me. I thought we were just racing.
Well, and I think the longer they run here,
there
the
might
less
just
advantage
be
those
one
tires
right there
have.
off of turn 2.
Oh, yeah. This is going to bring it out.
Austin Dillon spins around and crashing behind him.
Still
His
going.
2 teammates, Menard and Ryan Newman, all get caught up in Austin Dillon.
Somebody got into Austin Dillon. I can't tell who it was.
Jimmy Johnson, we believe.
Wow, I have not seen a melee like that on the back straightaway here. The closing rate of those newer tires, right? The 11 kind of got him loose and got him up the racetrack, and then right in front of the 48.
I think you're right.
He comes across right in front of Stenhouse.
Oh, Stenhouse just clipped him.
Nailed him.
That's going to really hurt that left front fender.
I think it's,
look at all 3 of the Childress cars piled up there.
So you can see the 3 of Austin trying to get down, but the right front of the 11 gets him loose. He goes up the racetrack. Jimmy's checked up sideways, trying not to get into him.
Stay off of him.
Wow, look at that. Amazing save by Jimmy.
Boy, and by Trevor Bain, who got almost sideways.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That
3's like a pinball.
17's pretty bad.
Well, he tried to pull it down in front of the 11. 11 sent him into me, and then I finished him off. You okay on your car? Yeah, I just tapped him. He just tried shutting the door on the 11, and it wasn't going to happen.
And that's the downside
to
staying out.
20 half back, trying to get a run here inside. Checking up in front of you, watch, easy, inside. Keep coming, yellow's out.